work on the Commissar is done. He's painted, the base is done, and I'm really happy with how he turned out. Now I'm gonna switch to a desk view so you can see the model better, and I can also point out things that I wanna discuss about this model. So we'll switch over. Here's the completed Commissar. I really want to talk about the composition and other decisions that I made working on this model. Now I used a little skull here, and this is to mark the orientation of the model and how I want the model to be viewed. The slate rock he's standing on is actually cedar chips, and they are glued primarily deep in here, and then these two sections were glued together. His foot is pinned into this section, and this other foot is just it's on there, but it's held with very thick super glue. A lot of the major metallic parts on this model were painted with true metallic metals, and I like painting true metallic metals, especially when you start mixing in just regular opaque paint. You get a lot of cool effects. Now all the trim of the uniform and the little tassels on his scarf and his shoulders and the rim around his hat, these were painted sort of non-metallic metal. I didn't want them to read as non-metallic metal. I hope that makes sense. But I used a combination of Vallejo's dark rust, parasite brown, and then moon yellow. And then in some of the brighter spots, I added in iced yellow. And here's a little closer shot of that trim. I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I'll turn him around. He's got a little trim on the bottom of his coat, and you can really see the tassels on his shoulder things. I think they're called epaulettes. Now I want to try and explain, I guess, my thought process on the composition. And here's the orientation that I want the viewer to look at the model. And if I turn him around, I kind of repeat that with this larger fungus here at the bottom. This is kind of what, maybe like the optimum view from the back. And the reason why I kind of went with this little like stepped slate base is, let me see if I can do this here. I wanted to repeat the extension of the plasma gun down through and out the bottom, so it kind of gives this C shape. And even from my chosen perspective, I still get that. And I think that's really cool. And I kept the like foliage and funguses in the front very kind of sparse. It makes the base still interesting, but I didn't want it to distract from the main model. Now on the back, it is a little boring, and especially the back of the slate, it looked really boring. So I beefed it up with some additional fungus, this large fern. To fill out the space in between these basing details, I just used a static grass from Huge Miniatures. It's probably my favorite one, and I'll put up a little picture of it. And lastly, this is just a close-up view of the Commissar. I am extremely happy with how this turned out. I finished the Commissar earlier this week, so on Thursday I was able to jump back into painting Captain Otto. A lot of the work spent on Captain Otto was deepening the shadows and boosting the highlights of his skin just a little bit more. I felt he was looking a little flat, but more importantly, is I was able to get his eyes done, and I'm so happy with how they turned out. And I'll put up some photos of the palette I'm using for, say, his hat, the skin tone, and for the uniform itself. I haven't decided on what colors I'm going to paint the tentacle in yet. It's been a good week for painting. I mean, the Commissar's done, and I feel really good about the progress with Captain Otto. But I will see you all later.